The story begins with a high school boy named Kenjiro Sakamachi. He begins his day with an awkward awakening from his younger sister Correa, but the thing about Kenjiro is that he has a rare disease called gynophobia, which causes abnormal fear of women. Next scene, he arrives at school and at the same time, the popular and handsome Subaru Kano is seen as a student working as a butler for a girl named Kanad, the daughter of the school principal. Later, while Kenjiro is in the bathroom, Subaru is spotted wearing girls' underwear, leading to Subaru following Kenjiro into the chemistry lab and attacking him for what he saw. However, when a jar containing a frog falls from the shelf, Kenjiro jumps in to save Subaru, but after landing on her, Kenjiro realizes that Subaru is actually a girl. In response, Subaru throws a fire extinguisher at Kenjiro, knocking him unconscious. He later wakes up in the asylum chained to a bed with one free hand next to Kanade, who teases him a bit. She then explains that the Kano family served the Suzutsuki family through lineage. And now Subaru is the only child of his generation who must dress as a boy to attend high school and continue serving as a butler. Kanad then threatens Kenjiro with his sadistic behavior and forcibly contracts him to keep Subaru's true gender a secret, as well as find a way to cure his gynophobia. Due to rumors that Kenjiro and Subaru are now in a relationship, Kenjiro angers a fan club called Shooting Star Subaru-sama, or S4. However, their efforts are foiled by a delinquent fan club called the Subaru Observational Committee. Later, in an attempt to cure his gynophobia, Kanad has Kenjiro go on a fake date with Subaru while giving him a butler voucher with a sheep drone, redeemable for any irrefutable order to Subaru as an apology for her actions. After winning a sheep doll on a crane game near the end of the date, Kenjiro redeems the butler voucher and orders Subaru to be like a sheep, but then she starts violating his personal space while asking for more orders. Meanwhile, Correa, who has been spying on them, suddenly appears, in which she believes that Subaru is a boy but is cross-dressed as a girl. Regardless, Subaru easily defeats Correa in a fight, causing her to flee home. The next day, as Kenjiro and Subaru begin to become friends, they help each other cover their respective secrets during the school physical examination, despite the considerable embarrassment they have to undergo. After the two enjoy lunch together, Kanad appears while Subaru is sleeping. She tells Kenjiro that Subaru has finally found her first friend. When Kenjiro returns home, he is shocked when Correa reveals that she has fallen in love with Subaru. Afterwards, to solve the problem, Kanad arranges a double date at the swimming pool with Kenjiro, Subaru, and Correa. Kanad tells Kenjiro that she and Subaru were kidnapped for ransom when they were children. Suddenly a girl is drowning and Kenjiro saves the girl, but he passes out and a flashback occurs. In the flashback we see his hospitalized father, Jiro, explains that the name Kenjiro means stand by me, according to the Kenji character in his name for the dress. Back in the present, when Kenjiro regains consciousness, Subaru receives a phone call from a strange man in a wolf mask who has kidnapped Kanad and Correa at an unfinished building. When the kidnapper hangs up after wielding a knife, Subaru shivers due to his acmophobia, a morbid fear of sharp objects stemming from a traumatic incident from her childhood, in which she felt inadequate as a maid due to her inability to protect Kanad as a child. However, Kenjiro knocks her out and promises her to save Kanad. Kenjiro meets the kidnapper and the two engage in battle. Kenjiro is unable to strike until Subaru appears and defeats the kidnapper herself. She overcomes her acmophobia, and it is then revealed that the kidnapper is actually Subaru's father, Subaru Kano, in which the incident was orchestrated by Kanad to help Subaru overcome her acmophobia. Later, Subaru tearfully tells Kenjiro not to put himself in danger again, and she fears that her first friend will eventually be destroyed. Suddenly, Correa interrupts their moment, inadvertently revealing that Kanad was supposed to go out with Kenjiro. Subaru then immediately reacts with anger, forcing Kenjiro and Kanad run away from both Subaru and Correa. The next morning, Kenjiro finally begins a happy day as Golden Week, because Correa has gone to the craft club camp for 3 days. But surprisingly, Subaru comes in front of Kenjiro's house while wearing cat ears and a tail, and needs a place to stay and acts as his butler. Because Kanad's father kicked her out of the mansion for the time being. Since Subaru doesn't want Kenjiro to lie down early in the morning, the two practice in gym to pass the time. Shortly after, Kenjiro decides to take a bath alone, but Subaru insists on joining him to wash his back. However, this moment is cut short when Correa returns home early from camp due to a broken arm after fighting a bear. When she arrives, she sees Subaru's clothes in the laundry basket and a brief misunderstanding occurs. Suddenly, Kanad arrives as well and decides to live with Kenjiro and act as his servant. So a brief competition ensues to determine who is better, but Kenjiro suddenly passes out from a cold. After Subaru attempts to treat him with several questionable treatments, Kanad finally explains the situation by taking him to the beach, where it is revealed that Nager has also been kicked out of the mansion due to his ongoing conflict with Subaru following the events of the unfinished building. Regardless, Subaru refuses to return to the mansion because he wants to take care of Kenjiro, fearing that he might lose him to illness like his late mother. Even though he is freezing cold, Kenjiro convinces Subaru to make amends with Nager and return to the mansion together. At the end of the Golden Week, Subaru sheepishly thanks Kenjiro before leaving. Kanad then points out that this is the first time Subaru has thanked someone other than her. Kanad states that Kenjiro doesn't seem like much of a chicken anymore. Then she proceeds to kiss him, making it the first kiss he will always remember. Some time passes and one day on the way to school, Kenjiro is run over by a girl on a scooter, while also noticing that she attends the Sing High School. When he sees his glasses stuck in her thigh boots, and asks her if he can get there, the girl gets it all wrong and attack him in return. After Kenjiro gets his glasses back, and before knocking him out, she introduces her as Masamune Uzami, an acquaintance of Correa and the craft club. Kenjiro then wakes up in the infirmary, where Subaru reveals that she found him passed out in the middle of the street and brought him to school. Next scene, Subaru asks Kenjiro to accompany her to the upcoming school festival. However, when Kenjiro starts talking about his first kiss and wanting to relive it somehow, Subaru mistakes this as the time she gave him CPR while he was unconscious during the pool incident. Suddenly, Kanad interrupts them by suggesting a cross-dressing cat cafe theme for the school festival. Kenjiro later runs into Masamune on the roof of the school, who reveals that she is actually a member of S4. But she asks him to be her boyfriend for the school festival, showing evidence of Kenjiro's fake date with Subaru as blackmail. In order to undermine the observational committee, Subaru, who soon hears all of this, punches him in the stomach and leaves in tears. Kenjiro later goes to the mall with Masamune to buy her a swimsuit, which that was quite embarrassing for Kenjiro. Then they befriend each other on the way home. As preparations are underway for the school festival the next day, a crew is shown spying on Subaru during the school festival. Subaru interrupts Kenjiro and Masamune during their fake date. They are then drawn to an animal cafe, where they find Correa, who is happy to see Masamune. However, Masamune, frightened by Correa's carefree and eager behavior, tells Kenjiro to leave without her, stating that he was not enjoying the fake date anyway. Kenjiro is then lured out by Nakaru in a sheep mascot costume, who introduces himself as a member of the craft club and head of the observation committee. Nakaru knows that Masamune is planning to undermine the observation committee, especially since Masamune lied about protecting Kenjiro from S4. Kenjiro explains to Subaru that the two fan clubs are organizing a meeting that could turn into a war with him stuck in the middle. At the meeting, Kenjiro and Subaru join the observation committee and are surprised that Kanad is the S4 representative. This session is actually a race bowl focused on the subject of Subaru. When the last question regarding who was Subaru's first kiss is asked, Subaru reluctantly reveals the answer as Kenjiro, referring to the pool incident. After Kanad later informs him that Masamune has resigned from S4, Kenjiro finds Masamune alone on the roof of the school. Masamune explains that Subaru has changed in personality from lonely to friendly when Kenjiro entered into the picture. In response, Kenjiro reveals his gynophobia to Masamune and later introduces her to Subaru and Kanad as his new friend. The next day, Masamune promises to help Kenjiro cure his gynophobia, and this video ends here. If you want the next episode of this beautiful anime, just write in the comments. Don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date.